It was incredibly overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like when you first episode was amazing, but when you pour your heart and soul into something, and you're very separate from the post process, like the editing and the CGI is something that happens without your input. It takes a while for your body, for your brain to adjust, because when you make a film that's entirely on a blue screen, you imagine it differently.
Sure.
So that first time you watch it you basically have to allow your brain to accept that it's not what it is in your head, and then the second time you watch it is when you can enjoy it as an audience member. So the first time it's really tough to take it all in, and then the second time you're like, wow, I really love this movie. I can enjoy it for what it is.
I mean, to echo what you said, and I also think that there's so much we can't say about it.
Sure.
Right.
But it is just, it's so much to take in, and there's so many things that are so special to so many people, and to ourselves, and because it's been such an incredible journey. So we're not only watching it for the emotional experience that it is as a Spider-Man movie, but also for the emotional experience that it is for us, and that's double the emotion, know. So it's it's
It's definitely emotional.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who cried the most, Jacob?
Jacob.
I mean, me, for sure. I was
that was a statement. It was who cried the most? Question. Jacob. Period.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely me. I was just like, wow, we're not going to do another one? Well, maybe, but probably not.
What is your gut feeling about if there will be more?
I honestly have no clue.
Yeah, anything could happen, I guess.
That's an interesting question. A tough one to answer. I think because we just don't know. We don't know. I think this film is a beautiful end to the arc of our characters. So
Storybook ending.
for us to pick it back up again, it would have to be an incredible story, something we haven't done before, tonally something that's very different. We don't want to make these movies for the sake of making these movies. We also want the fans to want us to come back to bring these characters to life. But then also, we don't want to be responsible for stopping someone else from having the opportunity to play these amazing characters. We've had so much fun. We're now all 25. We're starting the next chapter of our lives. I'd love to see a Spider-Man world that's more diverse, that's more interesting, that's different, something new. If you look at the past three, renditions of Spider-Man, we're all the same. So I'm very lucky to be here, but I'd like to see a future of something different.
Was there anything you took home from the set that you said, I'm keeping this?
My memories.
The memories.
I kept my costume.
You kept your costume? Yeah, I kept some costumes.
Fake blood on it and everything.
Keep
People don't touch it.
I wore this Letterman jacket, and I definitely use it all the time.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Did you get to keep a Spidey costume?
We're in the process of figuring that out.
Just take it.
Do you know what? On the last day, I was like, I'm leaving in
Just
this.
leave it.
And if you
They
want
can't
it, you
take
have
it
to come
off
and take it off
Right.
me.
Yeah.
And they took it off me.
They immediately.
There's more than several. There's
there's
at
tons.
least
Take it.
60 of those things,
Right.
but they are incredibly expensive. They are valuable
it.
assets.
Take it, my
I will
guy.
take them one
Take
day.
it.
I like the idea of taking them. We have a beautiful local cinema called the Olympic. Thanks, Harry. And it's one of our
Do the
favorite places to go
glass.
as a family. And I would love to get the suits and kind of donate them there so that they can put them up as a little
That's cool.
museum.
Yeah.
It's a small little local theatre, and it has a wonderful little restaurant, and I think it would be a really cool feature for them. So yeah, I'd like to do that. So if you're listening, Sony,
But also,
give me my Spider-Man suits. No, but I'll lend them to them and be like, you guys can have them here.
That'd be cool.
They're
That's
still
really cool.
mine.
but just leave with them. Just take it.
Yeah, but yeah,
I'll do it for you.
please. We don't know if this is the last time.
Yeah.
It just feels like the end of an era.
Yes.
Right.
And there might be a new era around the corner.
Yes.
Does that include us? We hope so,
Yeah,
but
for
maybe
sure.
not.
Right.
And we are all very proud of what we've achieved, and if it's time to step down, we'll do so proudly.
For sure.
But yeah, going back to you always looking incredible.
Yeah, it just.
It's really tough.
Yeah, I think that I like the attention, but then I see the attention is Zendaya, I guess, and I'm like, I'm actually thankful.
Yeah. That's nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, guys.
Yeah.
My question is, if you could have your all's characters cross over into any other superhero movie or TV show, what would you have them cross over into?
I would love to cross over into The Boys.
The
I
Boys
just
seems
see
crazy.
Spider-Man like kill a bunch of people.
That
Just
would be
suddenly he
intense.
just becomes really bad. And
Yeah.
yeah, I would like to be in The Boys. I love that show. That'd be a
Yeah.
very stressful experience for Spider-Man.
That'd
Yes.
be fun.
I just want to see Spider-Man swear and like do bad things. He's always so nice.
I would like to be into the Spider-Verse
Spider-Man's cool.
because I love that. That's such a
cool
I love it. It's so well done, so beautifully made. And I saw this meme, or I don't know if it's a meme, but it's like fan art, and it was like us in their universe. But then they're like,
Cute.
Miles is like, Zendaya? I thought that was cool.
Wait, Miles is like Zendaya, not MJ.
MJ, but I'm like, what?
They should totally do that. It's
That's
so
cute.
good.
Yeah, but I just think it's such a cool
Yeah.
movie,
Right.
and I'm excited for the next one.
The new trailer looks amazing.
So cool.
I'd probably do Umbrella Academy, just cause shout out Benny Wong, I love him. And everyone on the crew. But yeah, I feel like Ned would be cool, like trying to have his own little superpowers or whatever.
Yeah.
Zendaya wanted at the end of Far From Home. MJ says something like she's swinging with Peter, and she's like, "Well, I'm never doing this again," and she does.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: she does in No Way Home. Tell me about how is harness work? How is is there like a wind machine blowing on you guys? Like how is
That as a stunt is one of the most lame looking off camera stunts.
Yeah.
It's funny to watch. I think it's pretty funny to watch.
It's entertaining,
Yeah, for
for sure. We've explained it before, but it's basically just us few inches off the ground, and John is like going like this with the camera and thus swinging us as well.
Yeah.
And that's really all it is. Or sometimes we're just on the ground. And I'm just going like
Yeah,
this.
we just kind of squat with each other.
Yeah.
And we just
then
kind of move around like
violently.
this. And
Yeah.
the camera is attached to either my chest or my back. The back is the worst one because when you come to rest, the camera's so heavy, you have to kind of like lean forwards. At least when it's on your front, you can kind of just lean back and counterbalance. But for some reason on your back, it's much more comfortable. But it looks great in the film. You'd
It looks
never
great.
know.
You'd have no idea. We definitely should post a video
Yeah.
of how that is
One
How
day,
many
in real
real
when
life.
the movie's out, we will show
Yeah.
the world how
I also
incredibly
had to
unimpressive it is in real
had to
life.
do things well, I think what's fun about the swinging is John wanted to do it in a way that's most like realistic to how you would swing if you had Spider-Man in your life. So we were trying to figure how would some, because there's always so like graceful, and it's like,
Sure.
like sweeping her
You'd
away.
like break your back.
Yeah, you'd literally, if he was like grabbing you, you'd just like, you'd snap. So we just figured out that
You're
the
really
1,
like
2, 3 kind of koala
Yeah, like
thing
a backpack.
feels the most realistic.
Do you remember that one stunt we did where it's basically like Peter and MJ swinging into my bedroom? And like we were like attached to each other, like you were sitting on my front like this.
And then I had to spin around.
And I had the full mask on, and then they basically would just like drop us into this wall, but I couldn't see I couldn't see the wall until right at the last minute because I've got the mask like this, so I can't see down. I've then got Zendaya's head like this, so I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be.
Listen, Sirius XM, you
Shoot.
can do it. You can.
Oh, you can swear on
Yeah,
Sirius
do
X.
it, do it.
Just
Yeah.
remember doing that stunt, and it was really difficult because I obviously wanted to
All
make
my
sure
trust
that
was
you
in
were
your
safe,
hands.
Yeah.
and I didn't want to like get it wrong and miss the wall, and you just clatter into the wall.
No.
but I'm proud to say that you didn't do it.
Could
Not
have
once.
Would have happened.
And we've all swung together.
We did
We've
all swing
all-
together, yeah.
That's yeah,
That was interesting.
That was a time.
yeah.
That was a good time. for
Any
sure.
injuries on that one? Any slamming into walls on that one? Three
No
injuries?
injuries.
No, not really.
Good.
No, it was actually just a fun little ride.
Yeah, I farted.
No one did you?
Yeah, I farted on you, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. The suit's tight. The harness squeezes it
It
out.
squeezes
so
your
you know,
intestines.
Yeah.
Did you fess up or did one of them rat you out?
No,
It was
I
very
fessed up.
obvious.
Yeah.
Immediately was like, oh,
I felt the rattle.
sorry
Oh.
about that.
Wow.
That's my bad.
That's nice. I mean, at least on the third one, because I feel like if it had been your first week working together on Homecoming, that would have been super awkward.
No,
I don't think
it
so.
That would have been funny.
I think it would have been a
Yeah, it
really
would've been
good talking point.
That would have been a good
And
joke.
we would have spoken about it in the press then. So we're talking about it in the press now.
Do you feel like the chemistry was there from the beginning?
We were
yeah,
talking,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we absolutely all really loved each other immediately. We spent time like bonding.
It was
on
the
that first
picnic,
movie.
wasn't it?
Yeah, the picnic
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Really got us
We were saying
together.
that John sent us to the aquarium, and then halfway through our trip, we were all like, "We don't like the aquarium. This is mean." And then we
just
left.
tough. Oh, no, we just
left, didn't we? And then we went and had a picnic.
Which
yeah.
was
in
amazing.
the park, which was really
Do
nice.
you remember that we didn't know what to buy for the
Yeah.
picnic? 'Cause it was
Yeah.
like it felt like a very like adult thing, like cheese
Right,
and like
right.
crackers and olives, and we were like, I don't know, what do you guys want to
Potato
get?
chips?
Yeah,
Like,
well, you want to get some
chips?
Lunchables?
Zendaya, I wanted to ask, and actually, and Tom, I wanted to ask you guys because in the first, in Far From Home, when MJ and Peter kiss, and Zendaya, you're taller than Tom, and it became this thing, and I thought,
Whoa.
Not that much taller. though. Let's just put this out there. Maybe like an inch or two at best. It's not like people say like how did you guys kiss? It must have been
That's
so
not-
difficult.
That's
Yeah.
not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I'm always fascinated by, because it's such a misogynistic thing that like, oh my God,
Yeah.
the woman, and it is so problematic. And I'm always interested
Right.
by a moment where people are like, oh, and it's often something that comes from pop culture where people are like, oh, this is something that is problematic, that we have this assumption.
Yeah.
And why do we
Yeah.
have this assumption? And it was, I don't know. I was wondering if that was something that you guys heard about, or if, just kind of like, thank you, because
Yeah.
this is so screwed up.
This is
No,
yeah,
true.
it's-
That's very
this is
true.
normal too.
Yeah, it's a
absolutely.
stupid assumption that.
My
Yeah.
mom is taller than my dad.
Yeah,
like,
like
it's
it
My
doesn't.
mom's taller than everyone.
Right, it's like not a weird thing for women to be tall. Like,
No,
that's-
it's not at all. It does. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember when we were doing the Spider-Man screen tests. I mean, you'd have to ask John Watts this question, but every girl that we tested for both roles was taller than me, and I wonder whether that was a decision that John had made. There was no one that tested that was shorter than I was. To be fair, I am quite short, but.
Same. But me too.
But yeah, so maybe that was a
Shout out.
decision
Yeah.
John Watts made and something he was aware of and wanted to break the stereotype.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's
I think it's great.
yeah.
It's a nice sweet moment between them.
It is very sweet, yeah.
You know, and I hate the like or like often like having to cheat it and pretend like why not
Put me
just
on an
let
apple
it
box.
be what it is.
Right. It's so ridiculous and
Yeah.
it's so offensive. And you think about, well, seriously, I mean, you think about there's like, we have people watching today who are super young when we saw them. And I just feel like it's important. It's like
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
those tiny things
yourself.
are
For
important.
sure.
Yes,
Be who
I
you
would
are.
agree. I would
Don't let
agree.
society tell you what you can't be.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Do you remember your last day on set when they wrapped all of you?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could just tell us what that was like, because I have to imagine it was pretty emotional.
Yeah.
Tears.
For sure. Crying a
wreck.
lot.
Yeah,
A lot
we
of
were
crying.
all erect.
Yeah.
For like several days.
Yeah.
It was like 2 last days. Is what
Yeah,
it
2
felt
last
like.
days.
Yeah,
for
it was like a
sure.
double last day.
And
Yeah.
it was just
And it just was, I
Emotional.
remember
Yeah.
like doing this one stunt was my last shot. What, right?
It
Yeah.
was,
The
yeah.
one, and like I was basically like reaching out like this. I think everyone can figure out what stunt we're talking about. And I remember like John being like, right, we got it. And I was looking at George, our coordinator, and was like, no, don't tell him I need to do it again. Because I, you know, when we're doing stunts, normally I'm the person like, okay, guys, you've got it. Let's move on to the next one. Now I was like, please don't take me out the wires. I want to keep doing this, keep doing this,
Yeah.
keep doing this. And George was like, I can only get him to do it so many times. And then eventually John was like, right, brilliant, everyone, that's a wrap. And Dave Vengus took the mic and made an announcement.
Right.
And I was a mess.
Yeah.
it was a
It
Yeah.
was very, very emotional.
It was really, really, so much emotion.
We even got John, our director, to cry, which
Yeah.
I've never really
I've never
seen
seen
him
him
cry.
cry, ever.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
We were just all
We're
crying.
just incredible actors.
Yeah, we make him emote because we emote so
really
well.
moving
Yeah.
Yeah,
performances.
so good.
yeah.
Did you all show up for each other's last days?
Well, it
Oh,
was
we were
all
all
together.
We were all
together,
shot-
yeah.
They did it. They designed it so that our last day was together.
So in a way, that's kind of torturous.
Yeah.
It's mean.
But yeah, it was an amazing day.
Yeah.
Probably one of the highlights of my career. You know, I think it's, albeit a great memory, I think it's also a fantastic scene. I mean, in the movie, it plays out really well. It's such a monumental moment in our franchise.
Right.
And it was Jacob that got me though. Like as soon as Jacob started crying, I was like, bro, you can't cry, man. He said, I'm gonna cry.
Then we start breaking character.
Yeah, and then we just, and they're still rolling.
I love you, man. Like,
You better still be friends.
I want to see the like director's cut of that scene that's like 12 minutes long.
I know, I was crying our eyes out.